Within an hour, news of Khurram's mysterious death had spread everywhere. The people who had attended the inauguration ceremony of his mall were now present at his funeral. Everything remained unfinished and abandoned. By the evening, Khurram was buried. But the next morning, Khurram's body was found outside his grave, his shroud torn apart. The grave was wide open, as if some animal had clawed the soil away with its paws. The soil was scattered far and wide, particularly near the foot of the grave. Had a human done this, they would have used tools like a shovel or pickaxe, and the soil would have been piled neatly on the sides. A man had gone to the cemetery to pray. When he saw this scene, he got scared and ran away, only to breathe a sigh of relief when he reached home. He knew it was Khurram Pasha's grave because he had been present during the burial. He went to Iqbal Pasha's house to inform them, causing an uproar. Everyone rushed to the cemetery in their cars. Upon reaching the cemetery, the man's words were proven true. Khurram was once again buried in a new shroud. Those who saw it assumed it was the work of an animal, so they quietly reburied him and left. The night passed, but the next morning, the same sight awaited them. This time, Khurram's brother arrived early in the morning, and upon seeing the scene, he started shouting. Everything was just like the previous day. It seemed as if some animal had dug up the grave, but the strange thing was that, just like before, only the shroud had been torn, while the body remained intact. If an animal had done this, why would it only tear the shroud? Besides, no animal would remove the body and leave it outside, and certainly not every day. This seemed like something else entirely. This time, the police were notified. The police came, investigated, and gathered some evidence, which was sent to the lab for testing. Khurram was buried for the third time. Anyone who heard this news couldn't believe it. Everyone was saying the same thing. Who knows what sin he committed, that even after his death he's being dishonored like this. That night, 3 men were stationed as guards to catch anyone who might do the same thing again. 1 man was stationed by Iqbal Pasha's sons, and 2 police officers were with him. The 3 of them sat in hiding some distance away from the grave. They hid behind the large gravestones in the cemetery, but their focus was entirely on Khurram's grave. Although the grave wasn't clearly visible, there was enough moonlight to spot anyone approaching. Half the night had passed, but nothing had happened so far. Not a sound or a sign anywhere near Khurram Pasha's grave or in the entire cemetery. It was eerily silent, except for an occasional gust of wind that made the trees in the cemetery sway gently. They were growing tired of sitting there, but neither could they sleep nor leave their post. So, reluctantly, they kept their eyes fixed in the direction of Khurram Pasha's grave. Suddenly, they were startled. Someone was coming from that direction, heading straight toward Khurram's grave. The 3 of them immediately became alert and focused their attention on the person approaching. To be continued, please share your valuable feedback. Thank you. At this point, the story might seem like scattered pearls to you. You may have many questions in your mind, but be patient. Soon, these scattered pearls will come together into a string, and everything will become clear to you.